spoken word. I get the urge to submerge in that deep shit like good dicks. Give it in the morning, mid yearning, moaning, so grown and yeah, feeling all alone. Hi you guys, it's Krystal Holliday here. I'm super stoked, man. You guys, I'm in Oklahoma City, about to do an interview with the founder of Poetic City. So yeah, it doesn't get any better than this. Stay tuned and enjoy this beautiful part. I have a very special guest, someone I really admire. He's doing big things. So without further ado, introduce yourself, man. Let the people know who you are.
What up, everybody? I am Bleek. I am the founder and CEO of Poetic City. If you don't know what Poetic City is like the ultimate network and collaborating brand. I mean, we have so many different independent artists within our corporation working together, producing content like videos, dope soundtracks. We're very love to do a lot of mentorship. We have created a curriculum online statewide for all education departments within Oklahoma. We like taking the talent of poetry, music, dancing, just any form of art, and finding different ways to apply it to so many different things throughout life. And that's what's really powerful about Poetic City, the way we can communicate with people.
Oh, poetry is on the rise because of the time. So good job
Thank
for
you.
catching that wave or whatever. So you are a poet. You gonna spit something for it? No. No. I didn't ask you to at first to do the interview, so I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that. But so let's get into today's episode. What today's episode is about, which is hip hop and intellectualism. All right. So first off, how do you think poetry and hip hop relate, or if they do at all?
All right, so as far as similarities go, I feel like hip hop is poetry. Being able to, I'm talking about from the very scratch of it. When that person is sitting down and they're writing their lyrics or they're writing their verse, you know, all that poetry, because in that moment you're telling a story. You're storytelling. You might be telling how you feel. You might be talking about something, an event that happened to you, but you're releasing it in a poetic form to where other people will be able to grab it in a cool way.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? In a dope way. And then also, the difference I see is that with poetry, we can be a little more free. You know, we can be a little more free. I say that because, like, if I want to say a certain metaphor or certain words, I don't have a beat that, like, limits my cadence. Or limits, like, how fast I got to say something or how slow I can say something, you know. A lot of poets, when they actually get on an instrumental, you know that they say their poems a little on the offbeat part of it, you know, so that way they can really get it out how they want to say it without having to worry about the instrumental. So that's the only differences with it. But I feel like just the fact of writing your lyrics and stuff, that's poetry to me. Even just having that will and that passion to go in the studio and record it, even if you're in there just freestyling, not writing, just be able to go record it, you know what I'm saying? Being able to get up every morning and have that drive to go find another studio, go lay it down, and putting the whole concept together, all that poetry in motion.
Yeah. So you're saying that hip hop and poetry are pretty much synonymous, that they're one and the same. And if that is to be true, then there's a high level of intellectuality about hip hop, if that's the case.
Absolutely.
Because poetry has what? Imagery, conveying scenery, metaphors, similes, all these things these are intellectual pursuits.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm going to pose to you this question. The common perception is that hip hop artists or consumers of hip hop are ignorant, stupid, superficial, all these things. Are you aware of this argument?
I'm not aware of the argument, but I'm aware of the statements, if that makes sense. My opinion on that is, I don't think it's so much the intellect of these artists, because these artists are smart. The hip-hop artists are very smart. There's a reason why they can do that and others can't. They're very clever with how they disguise messages and deliver it. I think there's a lot of actions that hip-hop artists portray or do that blind people to the intellectual side of them. So I think a lot of judgment is made based off of decision making and choices. I mean, when you're that high of a figure, and, you know, you got a fan base like that, and everybody's got their eyes on you, you know, everything you do is gonna be judged. Everything, I mean, even if it was something that you felt like was right to you, but it come off right to other people gonna feel like it was ignorant or that was a dumb thing. Or if I was in his shoes and had that much money, I wouldn't be doing that. But we never know.
Right.
We're not in that person's shoes. But you can't discredit them. They are very intelligent. Very smart.
And you're absolutely right. By the merit of, like we said, hip hop is synonymous with poetry, and poetry takes a high level mental faculties to create.
Masterpiece. For example, masterpiece. No limit. If you dive into this man's story, and you dive and look at from a business standpoint,
right?
We love him on our hip hop, on the rap side, but if you dive into him on a business standpoint and look at all the branches he done did, all the things he done done for other artists and other hip hop artists, not even just staying in one lane, hip hop, being able to branch out to comedy, being able to branch out to sports, being able to branch out to rap snacks,
video games. He's
his
diversified.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't a dumb person. You feel me?
Right.
Like, it takes a certain intellect, and it takes a certain desire to want more. And I think that's the other thing too, is sometimes people expect so much out of hip hop artists, like, because they got such a big movement that they should want to do this with their movement, you know, create this type of business or be in this type of political debate or things like that. And at the end of the day, they just might want to be a rapper, and that could be it, you know. But for those who have the passion of expanding and growing, them are the ones that they were willing to take that next level, and you gotta give them props for that. You can't let them feel like they're ignorant just because they're not making every decision based on how you want it.
You know, I was talking to a friend of mine at work, and we was talking about this topic, and he's a hip hop head to the core, one of those lyricist lovers, and he was saying what I agree with is that it's what the media portrays, or the labels, and it's what they promote. So they capitalize on saying hip hop is ignorant or whatever. So the intellectual side of these rappers are not propped up. We have T.I. who wrote a book, and we also have
Exactly.
Who else wrote that book? That guy, Def Jam dude, the old OG. He like put everybody on.
Talk about
You know what I'm talking about? He's like I think he's like a Buddhist.
what is his name?
He was a promoter. We're gonna think about it later. It's gonna get on my nerves. But yeah, he wrote a book, and
I should know his name.
I forgot it. Russ Simmons.
Yep.
God
Yep,
damn.
that's it. Yeah, Russ.
Sorry, Russ,
Yeah.
if you ever see this. Sorry. And speaking of right, you brought up politics, and this would be a great time to talk about, you know, the recent controversy on back and forth between Cardi B and Miss Candance Owens. Everybody knows who Cardi B is. She has the #1 song in hip hop right now. She's on her game, and we all know who Candance Owens is. This smart, intellectual, unfortunate conservative personality. I would love to have an interview with her. So Miss Candance, if you're ever come across this, I would love to have a interview with you. So the back and forth is that Cardi B did an interview with Joe Biden, and she's got on Cardi B saying she's ignorant, she don't know what she's talking about, and all that. And I wanted to know your thoughts about that.
I guess.
Like, does Miss Owens have a point? Should Cardi B stay in her lane? Should she stay in her lane with rap and not be curious about political life? Like,
Well, no, because at that point, I mean, you're trying to get. I mean, just because somebody might not have as much knowledge as the other person doesn't mean they don't have the right to be curious or to try to obtain, you know, knowledge. If anything, be the person that just educates them. I feel like
Thank
that
you.
ignorant word is being thrown out too easy. Like, you're being too harsh. Like, you don't gotta just call her ignorant because she's a rapper and she's trying to dive into the political world. Like, just educate her.
Right.
Let her know, like, even if I don't feel like she gotta feel like their views are the same. The views don't gotta be the same, but just educate her, let her know, you know, if you feel a different view, be able to support it with sufficient facts and research. You know, don't just be out here trying to just say what sounds good and fit in. You know what I mean? But don't call her ignorant. Don't be, you know. And I'm just like that, period, because I love people. You know, I love the human race. So don't be so quick to cut her off and I mean, and, you know, politics is a war. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, she interviewing Joe Biden, so she gonna do what she gotta say. You know what I mean? But if you really care, educate that person.
Yeah. Well, what I would like to say about that quickly is that politics derives from the word policia. That word so we get population, we get police, we get people. So politics is really people. So Cardi B has every right to be concerned and to be involved in politics. And Candance, you make a lot of points, because I saw the interview and she makes a lot of points. But you want to do things in love. You know, you want to educate like my brother said. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, thank you for viewing this episode. Shout out to my boy Bleek for doing this for me.
And follow Poetic City on all social media sites. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Follow us.
Yes. Thank you for doing this, and we are out of here. Damn, I hate rap. Give me spoken word. I get the urge to submerge in that deep shit like good dicks. Give it in the morning, mid yearning, moaning, so grown and yeah, feeling all alone.